Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and with the Guardians of the Galaxy playing such a big role in the recent Avengers Infinity War, Guardians director James Gunn has been even more active than usual on Twitter, which is really saying something, weighing in on theories about his movies and how they connect to Infinity War. Recently, he reminded us that there is still one big Easter egg hidden somewhere in the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's there, it's already been partially uncovered, so you just need to find the whole thing.
Man, James Gunn really knows how to work up us nerds. What is this, Ready Player One? You know what, you can keep your Easter egg, Jimmy. We got better things to do. Oh my God, where the hell is it? We have done a Guardians of the Galaxy Easter egg breakdown on this channel before. You may have seen Sam's excellent video. But coming through the movie again, some more interesting little nuggets begin to pop up, along with a theory that might, just might, be what Gunn is referring to. So let's dive in, a-holes. Okay, right off the bat, Quill realizes his one-night stand, Barit, is still in the ship, and the shirt she's wearing is the same summer camp t-shirt that the younger Peter was wearing on the day he got abducted. Later on Xandar, during Stan Lee's cameo, the data on Rocket's screen shows an alien language. This translates to Excelsior, Stan Lee's catchphrase, and it's written in the Skrull language. This is the first appearance of the Skrull in the MCU. They're an alien race that'll apparently have a bigger role in the upcoming Captain Marvel movie. Also, during this sequence, you may have spotted these tall figures wearing cloaks. Some wondered if these could be the Watchers, the godlike beings that Stan Lee was hanging out with in the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but James Gunn has debunked this. He said that these figures are just nuns. After the Guardians get arrested, the processing lineup gives us lots of on-screen trivia about each character, most of which Sam has already gone through. But here are a couple other ones I found interesting. Gamora is listed as the last survivor of her people, the Oops All Berries. Which is interesting, because in Infinity War, Thanos only killed half of her people. Now, let's be clear, Guardians was written and shot years before Infinity War. Gunn had no way of knowing what they would end up doing with her backstory in Infinity War. But it's just worth pointing out that Thanos' gesture to save this race from self-extinction by thinning the herd didn't really work out too well for them. Meanwhile, Quill's profile has a few little tidbits. It lists his name as Space Lord, a joke about how Roman didn't really take the name Star-Lord seriously.
Hey! That isn't Star Prince!
It also lists a translator implant in his neck, explaining how Quill can communicate in other languages. And in his criminal record, it lists 1 count of illegal manipulation of Grimosian Duchess. Gunn explained that Quill had gotten seduced by a Grimosian royalty figure, which apparently is a crime. Grimosians are an alien race in the Marvel comics. They've fought against Thor, and they've shown up here and there. And speaking of all their criminal records, the jumpsuits that they and all the prisoners in the kiln have to wear have these barcodes on the legs. These bars correspond to the number and types of crimes that they've committed, with black for murder and other colors for crimes like arson and burglary. Now, it's possible that Rocket could be the missing Easter egg. Quill stares at his cybernetic implants, and Rocket alludes to his tortuous backstory. Now, both Gamora and Nebula were also enhanced with similar painful implants, leading to this theory that Rocket could be another one of the children of Thanos. Another theory came from the later scene with Rocket in the Collector's space with a small animal spine on the table beside him, perhaps suggesting that Rocket could have been an experiment by the Collector. But Gunn has debunked that theory as well. The kiln includes a few cameos, including this dude who heckles Gamora as they enter. This is Lloyd Kaufman, a longtime screenwriter and director and mentor to James Gunn. Later in Nowhere, there's this sweet moment where Groot produces a flower for a little girl. This is a nod to the classic film Frankenstein, when the monster befriends a little girl by the lake and she gives him this nice flower. Fortunately, that scene ends much worse for that girl. Now, one of the most fascinating new Easter eggs to emerge from this movie comes from the moment the Collector's building gets destroyed by the Power Stone. Check out this wide exterior shot of the building. If you look closely, it looks like James Gunn snuck in nods to each of the 6 original Avengers. Now, the clearest one is Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, right in the middle there. Then, if you look in the upper right corner, it appears to be a window that looks kind of like Iron Man's arc reactor. And then over in the upper left is another window with concentric circles that look a lot like Captain America's shield. In the bottom left, there's a radioactive symbol that's commonly associated with the Hulk. And then to the right of the big hammer, there's a spiderweb patterned rooftop with a red light similar to Black Widow's logo. And then the purple light of the Power Stone lights up the building edifice in a way that looks kind of like Hawkeye's purple arrow logo. This detail's awesome, and this could be what Gunn was referring to. But James Gunn has also been in a back and forth with the YouTuber MT over this missing Easter egg for a long time. MT's videos are fantastic. I highly recommend this guy. He once theorized that the Power Stone and the staff of the Celestial, Aeson the Searcher, in the Collector's character's Infinity Stone's backstory explanation was egg-shaped, and that it could be a cosmic egg, which is a super powerful object that gets created in the aftermath of the Infinity Gauntlet events in the comics. It's not worth going too deep into it because James Gunn has debunked this theory, along with all of MT's other theories, unfortunately. But he has singled out MT as someone who's gotten very, very close to this Easter egg. Now, to me, this suggests that MT may at least be right about this missing Easter egg being an actual egg somewhere in the movie. So while I was thinking about this, I started to remember the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 breakdown on this channel I made a year ago. In my analysis of the visuals of that movie, I pointed out the recurring biological and reproductive imagery in the movie, specifically the egg shape and the color palette of Ego's ship, and the design of the tableaus that he later uses to explain Quill's origin story. Now, my interpretation was that this reflected the movie's family theme, with Peter torn between his biological roots and the new family he has formed with the Guardians, as he feels the pressure to, as the movie's recurring Fleetwood Mac anthem suggests, never break the chain, with one chain being the biological bloodline and the other chain being this new family tie that he has. Now, at the time I presented that as some armchair film school analysis that I found interesting, but then check this out. Top comment on the video. Now, I'm not sure how YouTube verification works, but I think that's James Gunn himself saying nice. If so, cool. Maybe we're onto something with this egg as reproductive imagery stuff. Now, if you look at the first Guardians closely, maybe even a little obsessively, the shape of the DNA double helix starts to pop up everywhere. On all of their criminal profiles, the shape of Ronin's Kree warship, on the wall behind the Xandar Barterer, and maybe it's me, but even those prisoner bar codes on their legs look kind of like the base pairs that connect nucleotide strands of DNA. Now, others have suggested that this DNA imagery could be a reference to Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, comic writers and artists who worked on the Nova comics and are credited for creating the new, more popular version of Star-Lord in the mid-2000s that the MCU adaptation is based on. Dan and Andy go by the nickname DNA. A nod to the artists who made all this possible could be the Easter egg that Gunn has been hinting at, but I think the DNA imagery could be connected with the way the egg imagery was used in Guardians Volume 2 as a metaphor for family biology and reproduction. Remember, Gunn suggested that people have only uncovered parts of the Easter egg, but not the whole thing. Maybe these movies as a whole are Easter eggs, specifically one egg in stages of development. It begins as all eggs do, DNA in the first stage, and then into an egg in the second stage, and then in the third stage, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the egg will hatch. Some new life form could emerge. And what will that be? Well, maybe this perfect little egg baby we saw incubating at the very, very end of Volume 2, Adam Warlock. No, you're reading too much into this. Look guys, until James Gunn confirms the correct egg finding, I will throw it over to you. Do you think this Easter egg even exists? Or is Gunn just trolling us into watching his movies over and over again? Wait a minute. Troll. Good God, it was there all along. Comment with your theories down below, or you can tweet me directly at EA Voss, or follow New Rockstars on Twitter for updates on our videos. Like and share this video and subscribe to New Rockstars for all of our deep dives and analysis of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You can check out my full movie breakdown of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, or Sam's rewatch of the first Guardians, and all the crap we're putting out on Infinity War. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.